I was on the plane watching Leave the World Behind. It's a movie on Netflix, right? So I won't spoil it for those of you who haven't seen it, but it's the first time I've ever watched a movie on 1.25 speed. I always joke about I'll send you like audio recordings or screen recordings of me listening to an audio book on like 1.75. So that is standard, but never in a movie, just because I wanted to get to the meat and potatoes of what's really happening. But essentially the movie is about a family that rents an Airbnb to break away from the madness of the city. The movie is positioned, or it takes place in New York City. So they go, I guess, up in Long Island somewhere, rent a beautiful house just to get away for the weekend. And some strange things begin to happen. So you guys got to watch it to really make sense of it. But it's ironic because in one of the scenes, I'll at least share at least one of them. You heard about Tesla having to pull almost all their cars off the road for autopilot. All right. In one of the scenes in that movie, sure enough, it's a bunch of cars as they're trying to escape, a bunch of cars blocking the roads. All of them are white Teslas. It's the only part of the movie I'll give away. All of them are white Teslas. Next thing you know, they're brand new Teslas. Then they realize that the autopilot driving feature, these cars are driving themselves and just crashing to this one location. Like they're all going to this one location. So the timing of it, I'm like, yo, hold on. This movie comes out. It's like #1 on Netflix, by the way, right now. It's the #1 trending movie on Netflix. This is what's happening in the movie. A couple weeks later, Tesla literally has to pull their cars off the road to service this very feature. So I was like, okay, hold on. There's some things happening here that you got to look a little closer at. But crazy movie, man. But essentially, the lesson that I walked away with, because at the end, that's where the big aha gets revealed, is that with us so openly giving so much of our data and our information online, I think it's time to also start thinking a little bit about data protection and cybersecurity. Like, I don't know, I know that's a real geeky topic and very few people talk about it, but watching that movie, and there was also a podcast episode with Patrick Bet-David where he was talking about something similar. Like, he's like, I don't know when, but this is one of those things that I expect to actually happen in real life. And I was like, oh yeah, nah. I can't get caught off guard with one of them situations. It was bad enough that I was watching this movie on the plane. And for those of you who end up watching it, you'll see why it wasn't a good choice for me to watch the movie while I was on the plane. But sure enough, that's my thing, man. I'm like, yo, I got to look a little closer into this data privacy, cybersecurity, protecting my, information on the web or something in the event like something like that happens. Because we're starting to get some serious hints in movies around what could be the downfall of too much tech and data and AI and all this stuff. So yeah, I know it's not the fun business lesson, but definitely something to consider.
So your lesson is don't get a Tesla and don't trust in computers driving you around.
Well, not so much that one. That just happened to be a very interesting coincidence.
Okay.
Like I was like, oh, so that's what happens in the movie, but a couple weeks later, this is what happened in the real world.
Right.
That's very interesting. That was a very interesting, timely coincidence. But the data, because it was essentially a cyber attack that unloaded the whole thing. Like the whole movie is like that's what they find out at the very. Sorry, y'all. I hope just skip this part if you're listening and you intend to watch the movie and you haven't already.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So I'm like, I know I've heard of data protection, cybersecurity. I've heard about those to be really important things, but for like big companies and all that, not for everyday people who are just engaging with these platforms and doing their thing. So now I'm saying to myself, oh yeah, nah. I'm gonna look into that in 2024. I gotta get something, some sort of basic data privacy, cybersecurity metric in place. Yeah.
That's funny. That's
Leave the world behind.
Listen, low key, fun fact, I had a bachelor's in cybersecurity, so I already understand all that. So,
wow.
works.
Okay, good.
Little small,
Good.
Little small fun
Good.
fact.
That is a very important fact. It's a very important fact. Yeah.